Over a period of some 40 years, Fred Dibnah demolished 89 chimneys. His 90th at the former Park Mill in Royton near Oldham was to be his last. It's the end of an era for Royton's textile industry, and for Fred. But being Fred, he's got a new idea.
Really, my steeplejacking days are nearly over with. There's not many big chimneys like this left to knock down. They do keep coming, but not quite as frequent. This, of course, will enable me to do lots of things that I've always wanted to do. Like now, after 27 years, my tractor's finished. And I intend doing a grand tour of Great Britain, meeting interesting people who do interesting things.
This series follows Fred Dibnah on the journey he made round Britain on his traction engine. It was a journey in which he went in search of the skills and technology that had made it possible to build an engine like this in the first place. And it was to be his last, because by the time he set out, Fred knew that the cancer he'd been suffering from for nearly 3 years was incurable. This series is a record of Fred achieving his last great ambition. Fred's engine is a 1912 Aveling and Porter convertible tractor. On it he toured the length and breadth of Britain under the power of steam to celebrate the remarkable achievements of the engineers and industrial workers whose endeavours made engines like this possible. It was a journey that took him to places like ancient iron foundries and boiler works, where skills that were once very common have now all but disappeared. And to little workshops where things are still made today just as they were over 100 years ago. Getting around the country under the power of steam wasn't easy.
Real? What are you doing? Don't go near that baby. No.
An engine like this wasn't really designed to be driven in modern-day traffic.
When these engines were made, the traction engine was basically king of the road. Everything got out of the way of it. As time's gone by, in the modern world, you've got to be on your toes, like, because they don't stop quick, you know. You need a yard or two to stop. A lot of people who own these things don't go on road, they're scared of actually getting amongst the modern traffic.
It was a journey full of ups and downs. But whatever the problems they faced, they made it, and achieved a few notable firsts along the way, like crossing the Forth Road Bridge, the first time this had ever been done by a traction engine under its own steam. The highlight of the tour was a trip to London. Fred had been honoured with an MBE for his services to industrial heritage and broadcasting, and he was going to go to the palace to collect it on the engine.
In some ways, this journey is a celebration of finishing off my tractor and Britain's great industrial past. When I bought it about 27 years ago, I didn't really think it'd take as many years as it has done.
Why? I'll give you 2003 for it.
We're getting rather near now, aren't we?
The original were absolutely rotten, you know, it were all rusty, all the rivets were pointed and all of that. So I started off by making a new boiler barrel. I didn't actually roll the plate, but I did all the riveting, you know, all the hole boring and the rivets.
Now we're going to manage you paying for all the bits and pieces.
We'll manage. We managed before with that, didn't we? No more holidays.
Oh, we've never had any.
Fred made nearly all the parts for the engine himself, which is one of the reasons it all took him so long.
Everything was going very well, but with 6 rivets to do around where the barrel goes into the throat plate, a horrible crack appeared in between 4 rivet holes. And of course this has been caused by expanding and contracting in all them years, which meant that we'd got to make a new one, which were quite a feat.
By this time, Fred had a lot of friends helping him, and once the new throat plate was made, progress was rapid.
All locomotives and traction engines have all been made by belt-driven machinery. I should imagine they had the first year of disasters. This is fully automatic. There's only one difference between this and the most modern state-of-the-art thing. This works off sticks. The only awkward bit is sawing it up to make it fit in the boiler. It's nice to know that you've done it all by burning sticks. We've got to the undercoat stage, you know.
Amongst the friends who helped were Alf Molyneux and Jimmy Crooks, both retired miners.
Nicer, isn't it?
It's a lot smoother than it was.
There'll not be much room for you in here, Fred, when I'm driving this.
You what? Oh, this is nice on this side. Oh, that's nice and smooth, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? It's nice that we're now getting to this stage.
Yeah. Right. Go and put the kettle on.
That's the best idea you've had all day, that. I got involved with this. We got talking about pits, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to pitch egg here in my back garden." So I said, "Oh, I'd like to see that, being an ex-miner." So I came down to have a look, but I came on the day when he needed a bit of muscle power on traction engine. And then he said, "Can you just give us a lift with this?" That was it, I was trapped. That was it then. He reckons now I'm his expert
Knocker.
stay knocker. What's the word for that?
Hey?
I'm your stay knocker now, aren't I?
Oh, yeah. Extraordinary. Where can I put this bloody thing down now? Yeah.
Will it fit on there?
It will be, I've got mine to you, look.
Who's made these?
Me.
Looks like there's more in the tray than in the cup.
Well, a bit heavy for me.
It's good, that.
And finally, after a lot more brews, it's the big day. Is the engine going to work?
Whoa! So, for this bit, here we go. Handle forward. Regulator open. Nothing happened. Wait a minute.
Like a Rolls Royce.
1 or 2 knocks, but nothing terrible, you know.
Magic.
It's been like a long, hard 27 years, I'll tell you. And every time there was some unforeseen disaster, you know. I mean, I'm not the only guy doing this. There's dozens of them all over England in little sheds, trying hard with very little money, you know. In my opinion, you know, instead of giving it to these men with the tight trousers who dance on stages, they should give a bit to the lads who are bending traction engines, because they're an unbelievable tourist attraction. I mean, in Dorset, there's a guy there, I don't know how many million people come every year to a traction engine rally from all over the continent and everything. If you've never been to one before, it is like a nice day out.
So why had it taken so long?
If I had an electric motor instead of a steam engine driving my machinery, it would have maybe a year or two less than the 20-odd years. But the other thing is as soon as you light fires in boilers, they seem to have some fatal attraction for people who just come from nowhere. And of course, you can't stop talking, can you? You've got to like talk to them. So I would say half the 27 years has been taken up with talking and not doing the job.
But finally, in spite of all the interruptions, the great day has arrived. The engine is ready to go out onto the road for the first time.
Before we set off on this journey, and I want to do a few road tests with it around the local area and visit one or two people who actually helped me with machining and engineering the bits that I couldn't really do myself. Yeah, should be good fun, I think. Come here, Cock. Yeah, this young man here with the red hair's my eldest lad, Jack. You know, he don't live here, but he likes coming here to help me and all, and he's very keen on the world of steam. He lives in Isle of Man and he's well in with railway job there, but he likes coming here and helping me with my traction engines and all my steam engines. And he's not got his flat cap on, have you? Right, come on, we'll get on with it, and then we can get it out shed. Right, go on, tighten it up.
An engine like this cannot be moved until it's steamed up. But even now, there's a problem.
Oh, bloody stupid thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, listen.
Stupid.
While you're getting that, where you're getting steam up on that,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take that pump off and I'll check it on the floor.
To me, that Land Rover, I'll tell you, the thing has never ever been any good since I got it. We just had one disaster after another at very important times. Never when it don't matter. Till the day I went out in it, didn't I? And it conked out on me, miles out of town, you know, and all. And I ended up walking home.
But getting a traction engine out on the road isn't like getting your car out of the drive.
Take that red thing away and hide it somewhere.
There's hours of preparation involved.
Being a traction engine driver, really, wasn't an easy business. It wasn't just a matter of climbing on the thing and setting off down the road. I mean, a lot of preparation before the thing even moves. You've got to procure the sticks and an oily rag and get the fire lit, and make sure there's enough water in the boiler. You know, if there's no water in the boiler, you're in trouble. And then, of course, you proceed to go round with the oil can. There's literally dozens of oiling points. The whole procedure took a couple of hours before you actually set off. I can't think of anybody who's ever done it any quicker.
And 2 hours later,
Come on, swing on it, Doc. Driving a traction engine is a fairly simple thing, really. There's very important things you've got to watch, like the water level in the boiler. If you're an absolute raw recruit or a beginner, and you put in for your driving test on the traction engine, the man who comes to do the test, he's happy as long as you can get round the corner, do a three-point turn and stop the thing. There's a lot more to it than that. I mean, they don't ask you about what would you do if the water's disappeared out the bottom of the glass, which is very important because a steam boiler is basically a bomb.
this means that it's vital that it's kept full of water. Once they set off on the journey proper, this is something that is going to be a constant worry.
I know. What doing?
The authorities turn a blind eye nowadays to stealing water from fire hydrants.
How do you know when it's full?
When I get wet through.
But in the olden days, it were a very serious business, and there weren't as many hydrants, and there were a lot of oil troughs, and it were like forbidden to put your sucker pipe in an oil trough. I want to have a look down the hole. I don't know. It's all new to me, this. I've never filled it up before. I can't see it. Somewhere down there.
It's smaller than me. It's there.
At last, it's ready to set off.
To make it go is what's called the regulator, which basically opens the steam valve that lets steam into the cylinders, or in the case of the throttle on a car, lets petrol into the carburettor. An internal combustion engine is a very feeble thing compared with the power of steam.
When he was building the engine, the local scrap metal merchants provided a lot of the materials Fred needed. Today, he's looking for a bar to make a driving pin for one of the wheels.
I know where to see a scrap metal dealing company who have a particularly fine set of weighing scales where we can put the engine on and weigh it to the last couple of ounces. It's very important that you know how heavy the thing is. And when we get there, you never know what you're going to find, actually. Come to have it weighed.
Aye.
How heavy is it? Not in kilos, wait a minute.
8 tons, Fred. 8 ton. Just over 8 ton.
Just over 8 tons, isn't it? Oh, that's all right. Right. Yeah, I'll just go and see if there's a piece of 3-inch bar down the end of the yard. If there is a piece, I'll come back and show it you like I normally do, and you'll wave to me through the window, and then we'll disappear quick. All right.
All right.
See you later. See you in a bit. I'm at present looking for a piece of 3-inch bar to make a driving pin for the other rear wheel, but there's nothing over there that's suitable, so it's all like potluck, you know, you come in one day and you get something good, and you know, you come in for 3 weeks and there's no any good. So there's no any good today, so we're off.
Where are we going?
Hey, Tom, you won't stop here a minute though. I want you to follow me. Oh, foot brake.
What do you want forward then?
Oh, yeah.
So how's the boiler after a couple of miles driving?
That's gone worse. This one stopped at the top practically, you know. Even that is, it's not as bad as it looks. Why is it that we steamed this boiler about 15 times when it was just a boiler and it didn't leak? And we put it all together, and now that it's all together, it's picked 3 places to leak what you can't get at. You know, they'll seal up right, but it's really annoying when you think, you know, that we've had it once perfectly steam tight and everything okay.
Next stop, the place where Fred got most of the copper and brass for the engine.
Oh, some of your brass back.
And he's still short of some brass nuts.
Whoa. Hey. Hey.
Fair machine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of your brass work. I'll point a few bits out.
Right.
Yeah, all the metal that these taps are made out of all come out of this scrapyard. And all the lubricators and the nuts and the metal that these are made out of come from the bellises, yeah. They were like sheet brass, you know, that with black paper stuck on it. And there's a tap round corner what we get the washing water out of that's come from here. Even these greasers come out of this scrapyard, you know. Like people throw away stuff that they think is never going to be of any use in the modern world, but people like me can put it to good use in the old world.
Fair job, isn't it?
Oh, well, it's nearly a new one.
Yeah, no doubt, I can see that.
There's only that plate and that one and a bit of the back end left of the original boiler, you know, the rest is new. We've got a lot of other bits at home that have come from here that we never got around to putting on. Right. Now, all of England jealous of this lorry. It's our secret, you know, collection of jewels and everything splendid, you know. All this steam stuff. Yeah. And I'll go and do the bartering. Yeah. We've had a maiden voyage now, which has gone quite well, you know, I'm very pleased. You know, just 1 or 2 odds and sods that need seeing to, and then it'll be ready for the world tour, I would think. Today's been 99% successful. The leaks are a bit worrying, but, you know, it's like, it isn't that serious.
A long 27 years, Fred.
Well, there were some days I never thought I'd ever see it run. Well, I've done it. It's finished. Well, it's not finished, but it's running. Oh, birds are singing. Everything's going right for us.
Time now for some last-minute preparations. No living van can go out on the road without a touch of the signwriter's artistry. And there are plenty of little jobs to keep everybody else busy.
I'm cleaning smoke tubes out. They get full of soot, and you got to keep them clean, or else you just start losing all your efficiency. And it's one of them jobs you have to do regular. That's all.
Yeah. Is there any bristles left on that?
No.
Eh?
That's the last one.
Yeah, hey, look at all bristles have come
yeah,
on, haven't they?
that's the last one, that now.
Yeah, all right then.
You happy with them?
Yeah, we've got our long build, you know, vehicle thing now. So come and give us
So
a lift
put
for
him that
holding
on.
in
Right,
position
right.
while I'm out where the screw holes are. Yeah, Belf, if you and Elf hold it up, I'll mark where we want the holes, and then you take it down there and drill it. I think we need about 8 in here, really, don't we? For make it look somewhat presentable. How many?
Is it horizontal?
You mean level?
Yeah, level. That's about
wait a
right,
minute.
that.
Well, I don't know. Hang on, we could really could do with a ruler, couldn't we?
Well, you can still mark for your holes, can't you?
Oh yeah.
Got it there.
Is that right? Is it level?
My ruler, that's level.
Jim is in charge of the pencil, so right. Just hold it there and let me go have a look from up there. Yeah, I think it'll do that.
But there's still plenty of testing to do, and there's still a few scares for Fred.
Well, we've got some steam coming from underneath the wagon on the cylinder box, which should not be. It's going to be one of two things. A crack in the cylinder block, which is disastrous, or water that's accumulated on a ledge when we hydraulic tested it. I've been frightened like this before when I was a beginner. Like all the wagging round the boiler, and you've done an hydraulic test, and then all of the steam coming out everywhere. It's all the bloody water trapped inside the wagon that's being turned into steam by the heat from the boiler. I'm going to just lift up the wagon and it's almost stopped and see where that steam's coming from. If it's coming out of a hole, we're in trouble. Now, somebody with asbestos fingers has got to shove that rag in there.
It's hot.
Yeah, I know, it's hot, yeah. You're bad news with them gloves on, you'll burn yourself. Shove all rag in, that's it. So,
Another piece of rag.
that's the best rag we've got and we're ruining it. Hey, no, that's our towel. Can't do that. And we're going to dry our hands at dinner time. It's all right now, there. It's all gone. Yeah. It's a false alarm.
There's no leak. The steam was coming from the water that had accumulated under the boiler. Time for more road tests, and now it's Alf's turn.
We've now got it on road, and it's beautiful, and it's an achievement. I've a bit more love involved in this because you've helped to put it together.
Not losing any steam, you know. Basically, when you're steaming along the long road, if the roads are good and wide enough and everybody's getting by, you can relax. It's a bit like driving a canal boat. The steering's very similar, you know, a bit this way, a bit that way. But there's no signalling system on it. You've got to hang outside and put your hand out like they did in olden days.
On this little trip, Fred's going to a local engineer's where they machined the gears for the engine.
The brake job. No, I've not put brake on. I've not quite got used to this yet.
Blocked in.
I nearly drove it through next door neighbour's fence this morning.
It's a credit to you, Fred.
Thank you. Mick come and see me over there, you know.
Did
He's not very free with his admiration words, is he? And he
never was.
He said it. Well, no, he said it was a good job.
What sort of speed do you get out of it, Fred?
Well, we've had it up to 12 miles an hour this morning.
You really?
Yeah, it's quite early at that speed. It's a bit right. Don't stop, you know. With brakes screwed on and everything, it's still going. Yeah, like all this lot here. Brian here did all of this. And on the other side, there's a great big one, you know, the actual worn-out original one still hiding in a corner in this engineering works. Brian machined all the teeth off, and then we made it a shrink fit, and then we welded it as well, and a shaving off each side and top of teeth, and then we took it to gear cutters who put all the teeth on.
That's right.
And then the gear cutters went bankrupt, so we can't go there no more.
You doing all that work for Fred for nothing.
Yeah. No, I outpaid him, you know. I outpaid you.
Yeah. All right. Bad memory, Fred.
2 pints.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll go and have a look at that wheel. We'll go and dig it out. Oh, them are big lumps, aren't they? Where them come from? Hey.
Sheffield, them are from.
Have them been forged? And, yeah. Yeah, when I think that when I got it, you know, all them years ago, the teeth were all like that on every wheel, you know, sort of thing.
They're really sharp, aren't they?
Yeah, oh yeah. They must have lost 3/8 of an inch off each side that's worn away. You can tell how many thousands of miles it must have done.
This sort of engineering was just too big for Fred to do in his shed.
In this modern and advanced age, as they say it is, that we live in, it gets more and more difficult to find people who can actually do work like this. It's incredible, really. I mean, if I had to start again at the beginning, I'd be in trouble.
It's the reason we're still here, really. Having these big lanes.
Yeah.
The smaller end of the business, we've lost to countries such as Taiwan.
Yeah, then we've got one in a shed in backyard.
No, they won't fit in your shed, Fred.
Yeah, I know, yeah. All the people who've helped me and done various bits of machining for me, have nearly all gone this pattern.
That's why Fred's aiming to find some of these places before they all disappear. But before they can set out on the grand tour, there's one more hurdle to overcome: the boiler test.
Yeah, well, we've got 100 and odd on, and there's the usual, you know, them blobs that were coming out when we hydraulicked it. Yeah, there, see, you know, you can't get at it, you know, sort of thing.
We need to make sure it seals up.
Well, we'll give it a dose at Quaker Oats and what have you, you know, or something like that, and see what happens.
Yeah, we're almost up to pressure now.
Yeah.
But we just have to set the safeties to 150.
Yeah.
We'll just get it to feather first. Fred, okay. It's about 145 now, so if you just get it to lift.
It come in now.
Right. Yeah, just leave it that for a second, Fred. Yeah. Fred's adjusting the safety valves so they lift at the correct pressure, about 150 psi. One's sticking a little bit at the moment, so he's having to adjust a bit more than necessary would. But what they'll do first, they'll get them to lift, bring the pressure down below 150, and then we'll raise the pressure again and make sure they're lifted at the correct pressure. Right, yeah, I'm happy with those, Fred, okay.
Malcolm's last job is actually to have a look at the front tube plate, see that there's no water fizzing out of it, innit? Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, Fred.
Oh, you'll know.
But that's okay. There's no leaks at all there. And that completes it, really. If you do those small alterations, and you should be all right. I should be able to sign you off.
So they're ready for the road, and Alf can't wait to get started.
Oh, I'm on this holiday with him. He's invited me to a country with him. That'll be a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm the steersman. I've no doubt he'll show me how to drive the thing properly. Of course, I'll have a running commentary off Fred. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be something else, that. Really will.
Next, they finally managed to set out on their grand tour, but not without a bit of trouble getting the living van out of the drive as they set off for an open cast mine to stock up with the coal they need for their journey.